So the question that I had given, let me share it here. It says, using the previous bank scenario, an account may be either a savings account or a current account. A customer may open both a savings account and a current account. However, a customer must not have more than one savings account or current account. Draw an object diagram to represent this instance. So of course, there is an account, right? An account may either be a savings account or current. So savings account, current account, okay? Each of them are types of accounts. That's why there are links there, okay? And then a customer must not have more than one savings account. A customer must not have more than one savings account or current account. So you can only have one savings account or one current account, okay? So draw an object diagram. So this is the object diagram that I've just drawn for you. Compare with yours if it looks like mine. So this is how it should look like. This is how it should look like. So customer is related to account. Why? Because a customer can have an account. That's why we have a link between customer and account. So a customer can have an account. And also you see customer details. So that means there is a relationship. That's why there is a link. And then of course, a customer can either have can have both savings and current, but you cannot have more than one savings or more than one current. Yeah. So we have a customer having savings and a customer having current. That's why we have that link. And of course, because the links show relationships, we have customer details. So that means there is a relationship. So that is what was expected. That is what was expected. I hope that object diagram is now, you're now good to go with object diagrams. I want us now to look at use case diagrams. Use case diagrams. All right. Use case diagrams, a use case diagram basically describes the sequence of actions a system performs, yielding visible results. Now, basically, a use case diagram normally is used when we want to show the different entities of a system and the different users that use the system externally, okay? So when you learned about computer systems, you said that a system is a collection of entities or components or entities that work together to perform a certain objective. So basically, a use case normally is used to show the different entities of a system, the different internal components of a system, and the different users outside, because a computer system is made up of what? Hardware, software, and user. So we are showing the software and the users outside the system. So that's what a use case diagram or a use case is about, okay? It is basically to show the users of a system and the different entities within that system that those users interact with, okay? Now, these are the particular diagrams that are normally used. I need to show you this. Let me just share this. So let me share these. This is how we represent a use case diagram. We represent a use case diagram using this particular feature there to show a user of a system. And this is basically, you remember it from DFD, right? This is basically a process or an entity or a subsystem within the system, okay? A subsystem within the system, or an process or an entity, okay? So this we use to show the user of the system, and this one we use to show the subsystem or the process that the user interacts with, okay? So use case diagrams are made up of use cases and actors. So this is basically a what? An actor, a user, and this is a use case, a process, okay? And of course, because of relationships, we show relationships using links, and we show them using links and what? Links and links and arrows, okay? You know, straight lines and arrows to show the relationships, okay? Now I want us to have an example so that it can actually look better, so that we can actually know what is happening. So I will have a question here, and the question will go as follows. So the question will go as follows. So we're just going to go ahead and use the bank scenario that we are using, okay? So register account and register account and borrow. When he successfully registers an account, when he successfully registers an account, just a minute. All right, when he successfully registers an account, he receives a message. In borrowing a loan, the loan details he or she enters loan details, the system processes the loan and sends the details to the branch credit manager, the branch credit officer, and the branch manager who can verify the loan. Presents the system using a use case diagram. Right. Now, when you're given such a question like that, you first have to identify the actors and the use cases. Which are the actors? The actors are the users, okay? So which are the actors here? The actors are who and who and who? The customer, the branch credit officer, and who? The manager, right? And then these are the actors, okay? And then which are the what? The use cases. The use cases are what and what? The use cases are account registration. Use cases are basically subsystems within a system that perform a particular function. For instance, in this bank system, there is account registration and loan processing. Loan processing. Those are the two particular use cases or the processes. Okay. So of course, I'm going to let me just put a column there so that. So let us now draw a use case diagram. Okay. So we have the actors and the use cases. So now let us draw the class diagram. I mean the use case diagram. Okay. So the first thing is to draw basically, let me just draw the use cases. So I'm going to draw the use cases. So just like DFD, the use cases are the processes. Okay, so let me now edit this text. So account registration, right? So there is what? Loan processing. These are basically sub-entities. These are sub-systems within a system, all right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to combine these into one so that we can show that they are actually within a particular system, okay? So I'm just going to combine them that way, right? And of course, it's going to remove that. Basically, I've combined them that way to show that they are part of one system, okay? They are part of one system. I can actually come here and write here, bank system, just that, okay? Bank system. Then we are now going to draw the use cases, okay? Now, I need to find a use case from the internet, or is it there in Word? Let me see if it is there in Word document. Just something that looks like a person. have to find one in the internet. Just an image, okay? Just want to get an image from the internet. Okay. All right, let me crop. All right. So we have an actor there. So this actor is, we are going to call, this actor is a what? Is a customer, right? A customer. So you always have to name the actor, all right? You have to name the actor, customer. Then this customer, let me just put him there because uh, yeah. Then you show the different entities that this actor interacts with, the entities in the system that the customer interacts with. So the customer interacts with which ones? This one and this one. They interacts with both, basically. So you have to show that using a line, a link. Okay, show that, and then you show that. Now that the customer interacts with both of these entities of the system. Okay. The customer interacts with both. Then we'll now have a what? We'll now have we're going to have a branch manager. Okay, and then we are going to have a the credit officer. So we just name them. Okay, name them. This is branch officer. Then this is who. Let me cut this. So branch credit officer. And then here we have branch manager. Right? So the branch manager, the branch credit officer gets what? When he successfully receives a message, of course, that is a thing about the customer. Yeah. And then In borrowing a loan, he or she enters the loan details. Of course, this has been represented there. And the system processes the loan and sends the details to who? The branch credit officer. So which entity is sending the details of the loan? It is loan processing. Okay, loan processing is the entity sending the details of the loan. So we have that there. Okay, and then also, who else receives the loan details? The branch manager. Okay, so you show it that way. Show it that way. Okay, that way. So basically, we have shown that system using a what? A use case diagram. A customer can perform the following activities: can register account, borrow loan. So account registration, borrowing loan is there. When he successfully registers an account, he receives a message. Of course, that one will be, that is represented by that link. That link is just to show what happens when a customer is interacting with that particular entity. So here we have entering details, and also here we have the use case receiving what? Output, form of a message. We just show it using one link. Okay, and then when he enters the loan, in borrowing a loan, he enters the loan details. Of course, he enters the loan details there. So he interacts with the system using this particular entity. This is the entity that allows the user to actually borrow a loan. Okay, and then the system processes the loan and sends the details to the branch credit officer. So the branch credit officer is able to view the details from that entity, and the branch manager can verify, and the branch manager who can verify the loan. So branch manager also receives details of the loan. So yeah, and use case diagram. So yeah, this is how that use case diagram looks like. Okay, this is how that use case diagram looks like. So that is basically a very, very simple use case. A very, very simple use case. Any question? So that I can give you a question and then we call it a class. Any question? So remember, these human-like diagrams or features are what we call actors. Okay, so when you draw a use case, you draw this particular things. They are called actors. Actors are the users that interact with the system from outside. Okay, so for instance, if you're interacting with an M-Pesa system and you are working with, you are interacting with them, that M-Pesa system, and you are sending money, you'll basically go to Safaricom, send money, Safaricom, M-Pesa, send money. So basically there are those particular entities that you interact with. If it's withdraw money, there will be a module for withdrawing money. If it is borrowing an M-Shwari loan, there is a module for M-Shwari. In other words, you have to show every actor and what particular subsystem in that system that he interacts with, and then you show using the links. Okay, you show using the links. So I'm going to give you a question now, and I'm going to leave that question in the WhatsApp group so that you can actually follow it up. All right, you can actually follow it up. So the question goes as follows. I normally get these questions from my head most of the time, so that's why I have to think about that question so that it can flow. But let me see if there is a question. I think there's a question that I had given a previous class. Let's see if I still have it, so that I don't waste a lot of time typing a new question. Let me see. Aha, okay. So let me give you this question here. All right, so there is a question. Consider an automated trading house system. We assume the following features of the system. The trading house has transactions with two types of customers, individual customers and corporate customers. Once the customer places an order, it is processed by the sales department and the customer is given the bill. The system allows the manager to manage customer accounts and answer any queries posted by the customer. Draw a use case diagram to represent the system. So basically, you have an automated trading house system. The trading house has transactions with two types of customers, individual and corporate. So how are you going to treat that? Let me just give you a clue for that. Remember generalization and specialization, where you have account, then you have savings account and current account. Okay. So when you draw an actor for that, you're going to draw an actor for customer. Then below it, you're going to have that, just as we used to show with specialization, then have an actor for individual customer and actor for a corporate customer. So you have customer and then that to the link to show the specialization, then individual, corporate customer. Yeah. And then using that, now you can show those customers how they now uh, they can place an order. So now you have now to identify the different entities. Okay. So once the customer places an order, it is processed by the sales department and the customer is given the bill. The system allows the manager to manage customer accounts and answer any queries posted by the customer. So now all of this information, it actually tells you everything you need for that use case. It tells you the actors and it also tells you the use cases. Okay. So draw a use case diagram to represent that system. Now I'm going to put this in the group. I'm going to post this. It's just the same document. I'm using the same document. Okay. So I'm going to post the same document. It has now the use case diagrams and everything. So I'm going to, in fact, let me just, I'll have to name it here. So you're going to attempt that question. So you're going to attempt this question, okay? So let me put it in the group. All right. So I've shared it there. So then that will bring us to the end of our class for today. We have done object diagrams and use case diagrams. So you attempt that question. I've already shown you how to draw the use case diagram. So you attempt that question I have given there, and we are going to meet in the next class. So the videos are, I already have the videos, so it normally takes time to upload them in the YouTube channel. Okay, so I'm going to upload them. One video may take even an hour, depending on how much, depending on how much bandwidth is there, and yeah, depending on how much bandwidth and the strength of the Wi-Fi. Okay, so basically I'm going to upload them. I have all the videos. Okay, I have all the videos, so I'm going to upload them all in the YouTube channel so that you can actually watch them from there. So that brings us to the end of our class today. Have a good weekend yourselves. See the question I've given in the group, attempt that question. Every question that I give is very important, because uh, all questions that I will be asking in the exam, they take the same features. Okay, they take the same features. So every time I give you a question to attempt, it should actually give you the general outlook of how your exam questions should look like. All right, yeah, that's how the exam questions normally come, because of course I cannot give you a question which I don't, and I intend to set the question in a different way in an exam. Okay, it whatever I give you as questions to attempt, that is how questions are framed in the exam. Okay, so basically attempt those questions. They will prepare you for the exam. They will also prepare you, of course, for handling system design, even in an office or in an industry scenario. Okay, so these are basically things you'll also be doing in, even at degree level, master's level, as you do system design and analysis. These are the things you're going to be interacting with. Okay, they are just going to advance. Okay, so don't think, we are just drawing, these things are not very important, these things are just, we are just drawing things. They are very important. When you get to system analysis and design, you'll realize, if you go on with IT, these are the same things that you'll be learning, and they will just be expanding. Okay, so it's important that you practice them for the corporate needs that are out there. All right, so this brings us to the end of the class. Have a good afternoon, and also enjoy your weekend and keep yourself safe.